So the scene kicks off with Sentinel coming down the building and getting ready to run the ones with Optimus Prime. And this was the fight we were all waiting for. Sentinel starts talking about, "We have to rebuild Cybertron. It's your home after all." Optimus heard what Sentinel just said and was like,
Okay.
nah, cause Sentinel gotta be trolling. Cybertron is gone. Reduced to atoms. Like, just let it go, bro. I don't know why he killed Ironhide. All that just for a drop of blood. Like, what were you supposed to achieve by doing that? And this is why Optimus is my guy, bro. He's invited to the cookout. Like, look at what he says.
You taught me freedom is everyone's right.
Optimus out here pulling out quotes like he's William Shakespeare. That's gotta be a top 5 quote of all time. I know even Thanos was impressed from hearing that one, bro. Optimus pulls out his weapons and starts getting to work. So he starts off by pinning Sentinel onto the building. And this man Sentinel is still talking. Yo, Optimus, after I kill you, I'm coming for Bumblebee next. Optimus is like, you're gonna have to get through me first, big dog. And Sentinel must have smelled Optimus's hot-ass breath, because he headbutts Prime and then kicks him to the ground. He was trying to hear none of that. The cameraman pans over and we see these soldiers trying to help the Autobots. Like, bro, what are y'all gonna do? Let's be honest. Like, who even invited them on the team? Sam is out here doing parkour. Like, bro, you do not need to be moving like this. We know he ain't never do a slide like that a day in his life. So then Sentinel hits Optimus in the head twice. You know he has CTE, because if you ask him to talk, he's gonna be like...
I promise, like, and even it's a.
And the thing is, Sentinel knows he won't be able to hang with Optimus for too long in a 1v1, so he calls in backup right away. Like, my guy Optimus can never get the faith of a one-on-one. He's always getting jumped like his JJK. And the crazy part is, the Decepticons have more reinforcements than the actual army. Like, what? Now, normally, when you're getting jumped by a bunch of people, you have the ability to run away. But for Optimus, that's not possible in his case, because he has the same build as Shaquille O'Neal, so it's hard for him to run fast at all. So Sam pulls up on Dylan, but he gets struck down to the ground, and then Dylan ups the Glock 19 on him. But we all knew he didn't have that dog in him. He simply wasn't gonna pull the trigger. Sam lands a right hook and then punches Dylan in the face, and this man only had one goal, and that was to try and restore Cybertron. And for what reason? I don't know. Because, bro, Megatron does not mess with you. As soon as Cybertron is back, he's booming you. So then Sentinel swats away Bumblebee like a side character, and then blicks the other Autobot. But suddenly, he gets hit with a missile, and out of all people, you wanna know who's carrying the squad right now? And then we see Dylan, little bro Sam, and stomp on this man's face twice. And look at the way Sam lands on the ground. You're telling me Dylan stepped on you and had you rolling as if you just died? Like, bro, that man is literally hitting the Vegeta right now. So we finally switch over to the real action, and Optimus catches Sentinel lacking with that Hall of Fame chase down dash activated. Optimus starts hitting Sentinel's shield, and this man is already tripping around and falling to his knees. And the fight just started, bro. Sentinel tries swinging, but Optimus says we dodge those. And bro, Optimus is not letting any attack get to him. Optimus blocks Sentinel's move and then tries countering, but Sentinel's shield is the only thing saving him from getting sent to a Michael Jackson concert. Sentinel tries a spin move on Optimus, but Sentinel must have forgot that Optimus is the leader of Weave Nation, cause he gets out of there real quick. And I'm not gonna lie, this is the first time I've actually seen Sentinel cook up a 5-star meal. He could give Gordon Ramsay a good run for his money, because he knocks Optimus's weapons out of his hands and then kicks him to the ground like he's his son. And Sentinel did all of that while he was trash talking Optimus. Like, this man Sentinel really stood on business against the leader of the Autobots. You gotta give him his props, I'm not gonna lie. Sentinel takes off Optimus's arm, got that man looking like Sasuke. Oh nah, that man is finished. Optimus is like, no! And I know he had the same reaction as all of us, because I really thought that Sentinel was gonna send him to be reunited with Iron Man. Sentinel proceeds to stab Optimus through his body, give that man Optimus the Jiraiya treatment. My guy Optimus is actually struggling, because Sentinel was stripping away Optimus's dignity right in front of our eyes, dragging him around, and Optimus even told him to stop cooking him, bro. Sentinel goes in for the final blow, and at this moment, all Optimus fans really thought he was a fraud just like LeBron James. He might be washed, there might be someone overtaking him real soon. Megatron shoots Sentinel in the back, and this man was on straight timing. Cause we all remember how he got gaslit by Sam's girlfriend earlier, saying that how Sentinel is basically gonna own Megatron after Cybertron is back, have that man on a leash. So he slams Sentinel to the ground and then knocks this man's entire head off. Like, oh nah. So then Megatron just casually rips this man's body parts out. And I'm not gonna lie, this was the first time I was actually rooting for Megatron, because I speak for everyone when I see that we wanted Sentinel to die after what he did to Ironhide. Like, that man did nothing. He did not deserve this. Sam and Dylan were going at it once again, and I guess Sam was tired of the disrespect, because he smacks him in the face and then sends him to the gulag. Like, getting beat up by a teenager is crazy. He's like half your age, bro. The Autobots finally arrive and Bumblebee tackles the pillar so that Cybertron and Earth don't merge together. Like, it's about time Optimus gets some help. He's been doing this all on his own. Megatron is like,
Who would you be without me, Prime?
hey, I'm not even gonna lie, he might be the most hated Decepticon, but he's spitting right now. So then Optimus decides that it's time to turn into Kylian Mbappe. It's time to turn on the cheat codes and start locking in, because he stabs Megatron in the back and then puts his entire blade in Megatron's head. And this man was in pure agony, and we all knew it was wraps for him at this point. Optimus finally kills Megatron and gets his get back after the last time they fought. And I know Optimus was hyped after packing up his #1 op on the list. Like, bro, I don't even think it took Optimus 30 seconds to kill Megatron, and he was talking that hot smack the entire time. And he got humbled. So after Optimus finished his job with Megatron, we see Sentinel on all fours, and I can already tell how badly he's about to get done by Optimus. Like, Sentinel is hella old. You can just tell he was born in 1987 along with Duke Dennis, because his voice box is mad rusty. Like, he needs to clean that, bro. Like, pour some oil on that. All I wanted was a survival for the Autobots. I didn't betray anyone. Like, bro, we all knew that was straight cap. I don't even know why he was trying to play it all nice with Optimus. Like, it's over for you, buddy. Optimus pulls out one of the hardest quotes and is like,
You didn't betray me. You betrayed yourself.
like, bro, do I even gotta explain this? Optimus is actually him. Like, he took out Megatron and Sentinel using one arm, and he did this all in the same day. I guess that's why they call him Optimus Prime. Okay, boom. The scene starts off with Optimus and Bumblebee entering the building in order to save Sam after he almost got eaten alive by Megatron. I know Megatron was fiending for his get back after how Sam did him in the original Transformers, cause how are you a whole robot and losing to a geek? Like, Megatron actually gotta be the biggest fraud in all of Transformers. This man formed a whole super team just to lose.
But Ali, he killed Optimus Prime.
Shut your lame ass up.
And Bumblebee had that shiesty on, so you know he couldn't take any L's, because having that mask on automatically makes him unstoppable, just like Vegeta with the M on his head. Sam starts hitting the dash, and I don't know if it's just me, but why is the cameraman shaking so much? Like, half the time I could barely keep up with what was going on, cause whoever is recording these fights gotta be the same dude that be recording them school fights. You can't see anything, bro. Optimus jumps into the air and hits the cleanest slow motion backflip I've ever seen in my life. But we're not gonna slide past the fact that he has the Russell Westbrook accuracy. Because what were you aiming at? You're shooting there, but Megatron is over here. Like, you're not fooling anyone, bro. So he hits a backflip of his own, and when I saw this frame right here, I knew that the animators were cooking in the studio. I know for a fact that Mappa is trying to hire the Transformer animators so that they can make them work 50 hours a day and have JJK Season 3 done by March. Optimus gets to work and lands all of his shots on this Decepticon with that Steph Curry aim. And then he follows up by shooting Megatron through the building. Megatron has a rod wave hitbox, because look at how huge of a hole Megatron made. Like,
Oh, damn.
Megatron dips the scene and then Sam hops in the car, and all I gotta say is, this is moments before disaster, because I think we all know what happens after this. Optimus makes his way into the forest right before Megatron comes in from behind and tackles him onto the ground like a linebacker. Optimus is like, "Go somewhere to hide, Sam." And shoot, I would be trying to find the perfect hiding spot, because we all know Sam has a 5-star bounty on his head. And if the Decepticons somehow manage to get their hands on Sam, it's wraps for him. Optimus hits Megatron with a clean right hook, and I know that infuriated him, because he ragdolls him onto the ground for the second time. Sam gets the perfect angle for the fight, but then we see Optimus chuck an entire tree at Megatron like, oh nah. I know Megatron got a minor case of CTE from getting hit with that, because Optimus really said. And that tree that Optimus threw almost ends up hitting Sam. Like, bro, didn't he just tell you to run away? You're one stop away from getting turned into Flat Stanley. So then Optimus stabs Megatron in the back, had him hitting the... Megatron tries swinging at Optimus, but he says weave, and then hits him with that... which had Megatron rolling backwards into 2009. Optimus starts locking in because he puts Megatron on his knees and then manhandles him. But as soon as Megatron knew he couldn't hang with Optimus in a one-on-one, he knew it was a perfect opportunity to get the Decepticons to jump him. So Grindor pulls up to the forest alongside Starscream, and this is where all Optimus fans knew that it might be over for him. Sam starts running for his life, and now he realizes that it's time to finally get away from the Decepticons. Like, bro, this man has the same brain capacity as Gary the Snail, because it doesn't require 2 brain cells to know that you should have already been out of the forest by now. Optimus, being the real one, stops Megatron from getting to Sam, and then smashes his leg and then kicks him away. Optimus decides that it's time to turn into Gordon Ramsay, because he grabs Starscream and then kicks the other dude out of the entire frame. But he's not finished yet, and Starscream is just firing bullets at I don't know who. Like, he's straight up bugging right now. Because who are you trying to hit, bro? Casper the Ghost? Optimus chucks Starscream into the air and then kicks him right in the jaw. This man Optimus is really out here 1v3ing the Decepticons like it's his breakfast. It's like Ninja playing OG Fortnite. He's just taking out squads with ease. And Bumblebee must have been ducking the smoke on purpose. Because why do you decide to come in now out of all times and help Optimus? Like, where were you for the last 5 minutes, bro? At this point, I'm convinced that Sam is just trying to die on purpose. Because for some reason, he starts running towards the action as if he's about to start boxing. Like, what are you gonna do, Sam? Punch Megatron? Optimus starts getting jumped so hard that I thought I was watching Jujutsu Kaisen for a second. Because they be fighting like their lives are on the line. Like, look at this. But anywho, Optimus gets picked up like an action figure and gets thrown to the ground. And then Megatron kicks Optimus in the face. And I know he felt that one in his soul, because they play the entire thing in slow motion. Like, oh nah. The cameraman suddenly pans over to Sam and he yells, "Optimus!" And I know he had the same reaction as everyone else. Because bro, where are the rest of the Autobots? Like, are y'all really trying to let your own mans get violated like this? If that was me fighting the Decepticons, the fight would have already been over by now.
Stop the cap.
Optimus gets shot right in the chest and gets sent flying to the ground. And you know it's bad when he faces the cameraman and looks as dead in our eyes. Like, bro, you're about to make me start crying. Nah, cause Sam is real life shaking in his boots right now. Because Megatron is walking right towards him, and you can just see the fear on this man's face. This is like when Death pulled up on Puss, had him experiencing World War II flashbacks. But right as we all thought it was game over for Optimus, he channels his inner Naked 30 and drops the coldest line in history.
Never stop at one. I'll take you all on.
Hoo-hoo-hoo! Tell me that wasn't fire. But I know Thanos hating heard that from a mile away and was like,
"This is not a banger. This is not a banger. And I know bangers. I know bangers."
The Transformers theme track starts playing in the background, and this is where Optimus started feasting on the Decepticons, straight Popeyes. Optimus slices through Starscream like butter, and then he chops off Grindor's arm in half. But at the same time, we see that Sam is hiding behind the rock like the time Gohan was hiding from Boo. Oh nah. Optimus was out here pulling moves out of his bag that I've never seen, looking like John Wick out here. cause he goes behind Starscream's back and then headbutts him, making him move out of the frame completely. Optimus starts sunning Megatron and gives him a two-piece combo and then proceeds to put Starscream to sleep. Like, that man is straight cooking right now, I'm not even gonna hold you. So then Optimus decides it's time to boost his KD ratio, so he puts his blade inside of Grindor's eyes and then rips his entire face apart. Like, Optimus is actually him. And Optimus calls that man a piece of tinfoil. Like, he did not have to disrespect him like that. I know that Megatron heard that from a distance and was not gonna let that slide by any means. And you know what happens next? This man Megatron sneaks up behind Optimus and puts a whole blade through his chest. Like, oh nah, why they gotta do Prime like that? When that happened, I was like, no! Megatron sends Optimus to the gulag, and I know Sam is sick to his stomach right now, because he watched all of that happen right in front of him. That man is traumatized. Sam manages to somehow sneak out of the forest alive, and the Autobots only pull up when they have to save Sam from the Decepticons. Like, bro, do y'all have beef with Optimus? Cause there's no way y'all value a human more than a transformer. We're talking the leader of the Autobots. I'm actually dumb, bro. Okay, boom, the scene kicks off and we're in the middle of nowhere in Egypt, with the army throwing down a bunch of missiles at the Decepticons. And I don't know why the army thinks they're a part of the team. Like, you guys are real life throwing carrot-sized explosives. Do you really think that someone like Megatron, who's built like The Rock, will get killed by some useless artillery? No! So why are you guys still fighting in the middle of a war? Like, it must have been this guy who trained them to fight, cause they're clearly not built for this. They're better off sacrificing themselves so that they can give Sam more time to actually get away. So then Megatron starts chasing after Sam, and he had to remind little bro that stuff is not sweet around here, and that he's only a human, like Spider-Man. And he had Sam hitting the now talk pose. Oh nah, my guy is cooked. Someone call an ambulance, bro. But anywho, we see that the army are firing their bullets at Megatron, which to nobody's surprise is dealing absolutely zero damage. Like, someone needs to fire an RPG at Megatron. For all we know, he's probably being tickled from getting shot at by bullets. The cameraman pans over and we just see Sam's parents on the ground losing their mind. Like, bro, what are they doing in Egypt out of all places? They have no business being here. Y'all are just asking to get packed up at this point. Bumblebee sees Sam lying on the ground and starts hitting the
What have I done?
And Bumblebee is putting in less work than Katie's skincare routine, because the Autobots need you, but you're nowhere to be seen, bro. So Sam finally comes back to life as if he didn't just get blasted point blank by Megatron. But anyways, he gets Optimus Prime's reboot card and brings him back. And this is where the cooking was about to begin. So then the Autobots assemble and come together as a group. But this man Fallen is a next level hater, because he catches Optimus Prime lacking immediately. Bro comes flying in out of nowhere and grabs the Matrix, and it wasn't even 30 seconds before Optimus made his return, and he was already stepping all over this man. Like, dog, what was the point of all that? What did you gain from that? So the cameraman switches over, and I'm not gonna lie, us Transformer fans really thought it was game over, but then I remembered that Optimus Prime came back for a reason. It was to get it back in blood and to get back what he had lost. And then Sergeant Epps calls in for backup, but it results in everyone getting blown into the air. And this man Fallen turns into Avatar Aang and starts airbending. And I'm not even gonna lie, I was not familiar with your game. Those 800 years of living must have taught him a thing or two. And my guy Optimus was on low HP after the Fallen just made him his personal doormat. So then Starfire decides to give him a shield potion so that he can get to full power once again. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Optimus is too clean. He got all the drip in the world. As soon as I saw Optimus with all that armor on, I knew that it was his time to shine. So the Fallen turns into Toph and brings a bunch of rocks in the air to protect himself from the fighter jets. Hey, that was pretty smart. But what he didn't know was that this was a decoy the entire time. Optimus comes in flying, but the Fallen barely manages to move out the way. And bro, he's mad lucky, cause if Optimus body checked him, he would have turned into broken Lego pieces. That man weighs like 80 pounds. Oh nah. So then Optimus one-taps the pillar and breaks it with only one shot. But in the process, he starts tumbling down the pyramid until him and the Fallen land on the ground to finally run their fade. Die like your brothers. Optimus shoots at the Fallen and then he's like, "They were your brothers too, Optimus."
Stop the cap.
And while they're fighting, we see that Megatron is lurking in the background getting ready to jump Optimus Prime. Like, this is the stuff I'm talking about. They never be letting Optimus get a fair fight, bro. It's always Optimus being outnumbered by the Decepticons. Like, give this man a break. He's been doing this since 2007. So Optimus tries smacking the Fallen's head against the wall, but he somehow fails. And then the Fallen counters with a mean uppercut, which sets up Megatron for a perfect alley-oop. Megatron and Optimus crash into the wall, and my guy Fallen is just laying on the ground like, I've fallen. And I can't get up. Get it? I've fallen? Alright, so we cut to the action, and Megatron starts off by slashing Optimus and then shoots him in the body, but Optimus shakes that right off, cause he grabs Megatron's arm and then twists it around and then makes him shoot himself in the face. Y'all already know his arm is broken after being twisted like that. Optimus gonna have Megatron hitting the Vegeta pose for the rest of his life. I would be mad tight if that was him. And half of Megatron's face is gone. This is where he knew he was about to meet Jazz and Ironhide in the grave. That man is cooked. Megatron tries shooting at Optimus, but he chops that man's arm off and then pulls out the cleanest move I've done ever seen, bro. Optimus leans forward and then blasts his jet at Megatron and sends him flying through the wall. Like, how do you lose in a 2v1 situation? You gotta be ashamed of yourself. Real talk. So then Megatron starts yelling and says, Starscream! How do we tell you, bro? Starscream is not coming to help you. It's over for you, gang. So after Optimus packs up Megatron, the cameraman switches angles and we see Optimus hit the most majestic side flip. That man is the Weeb Nation leader for a reason, bro. Optimus spams bullets at the Fallen and then slashes through his face. But then the Fallen starts panicking and throws something at Optimus. I don't even know why the Fallen thought he would stand even a small chance with Optimus. Like, this fight is the equivalent of Rod Wave versus Kai Cenat. They're not even in the same weight class, bro. So then Optimus finally kills the Fallen and takes him off the face of the earth. And he's like, you chose the wrong planet, lil bro. And oh nah, look at this man's face. He's hideous, dog. Optimus tears apart his body and then drops the hardest quote to ever exist.
I rise, you fall.
Hey, I'm not even gonna hold you. Optimus really did his thing out there. And you know he had to get a quick flick for the gram as well. Packed up my ops in Egypt. I'm him. And now we gotta talk about Bumblebee. So Rampage pulls up on Sam and his parents and he tries convincing Rampage by saying, well actually, you need me because I know about the Matrix. Like, Sam, if you don't shut your...
Pickle cheese that boy. They go at collard green hair that boy.
So the fight kicks off with Bumblebee landing a spinning kick on Rampage. And my guy Sam is panicking as if he's never been in a fight before. Like, he was shaking like Tom Holland when he fought Green Goblin. Like, why are you so scared, bro? Bumblebee and Rampage get to scrapping, and you already know he had to put on the shiesty. He even looked at the camera to make sure we peep the mask. Like, we see it, bro. Bumblebee lands a jab to Rampage's head, but then he tries swinging at Bumblebee, but he says weave, and then kicks Rampage, which had bro mad confused. So Bumblebee starts ripping off his body parts and starts stepping all over him, just completely violating Rampage. And then Bumblebee just sends Rampage to the Gulag to reunite with Megatron and the Fallen. And then Bumblebee ends the scene by taking off his shiesty and is like, yeah, I still got that dog in me. Okay, boom. The scene kicks off with Bone Crusher rolling up on Optimus, and I'm not even gonna lie, he was standing on straight business because he tackles Optimus and then sends both of them flying off of the bridge. Optimus lands on Bone Crusher and they end up taking at least 50 fall damage from getting sent to the ground like that. Yo, someone needs to give the cameraman a raise. He was working overtime for this angle right here because bro was in the backseat recording this entire fight. Like, this is some next level stuff considering that this movie was made decades ago. So Optimus lands a mean uppercut on Bone Crusher, which had this man's entire face getting rearranged. Like, he was better off leaving Optimus alone because he clearly was not built for the job. Optimus comes down to where Bone Crusher just landed and he activates the dual swords, and you already know what type of timing Optimus is on when he pulls them out. So Optimus slices Bone Crusher's arm off of his body, and then he puts him into a chokehold and then ends this man's entire career in the span of 20 seconds. Nah, I'm actually weak. Bone Crusher lasted longer than Little Baby's entire music career. That's tough. Hey, I don't know who recruited Bone Crusher and gave him a contract to be a part of the Decepticons, but I know Megatron was tight after seeing that Tony Snell performance from Bone Crusher. Bone Crusher must have had that one friend that told him, hey bro, you're pretty nice at fighting. You can probably make it to the league. But when they make it, they become a Hall of Fame bust. Alright, so we see Bumblebee crawling towards Sam after he just got worked by the Decepticons, and he's like, yo Sam, give me a chug jug so I can get back to full HP. Sam is like, bro, what are you talking about, man? This is not Fortnite. I do not have a chug jug for you. So basically, Sam is given the All-Stark, and his main objective is to run away as far as possible before Megatron gets his hands on the cube. The Autobots spawn out of nowhere, and they were not playing fair at all, cause they start jumping this Decepticon, and Ratchet pulls out one of the cleanest backflips I've done ever seen, looking like Mario out there with the hops. They get to blasting this man and finally send him to be met up with Bone Crusher so that they can play hopscotch in the grave and wait until Megatron comes to join them. But bro, look at the Autobots. They're like, oh no, it's Megatron. We have to retrieve now. Like they were not trying to mess with a big dog, but I feel them. Cause what is Ratchet gonna do against Megatron? Like he's not gonna land a single scratch on him, let's be honest. Megatron was just boosting his KD out here by killing the Autobots. Like he was going crazy, cause he blasts one of the Autobots and sends him back to the lobby. And I don't know why he didn't fall back, because we all know Optimus is the only one that stands a chance against Megatron. He should have just listened to Ratchet and just hit the dash. Megatron was straight up disrespecting the Autobots, snatching everyone's dignity away. This man wanted all the smoke because he pulls up on Jazz and steps all over him and then picks him up. And Jazz still has the audacity to say, you want a piece of me? While this man is literally swinging you around like Woody from Toy Story. Like, oh nah. Megatron is a straight savage because he's like, nah, I don't want a piece of you. I want 2 pieces of you. And then tears him apart like nothing. Like this man is built different. Optimus must have had enough of the Autobots selling him out and ruining his reputation, so he himself decides to pull up and then hits the Bruce Lee pose and squares up. And this is where I'm like, it's about to go down. And I knew Megatron was cold, but I did not know that he was this cold. I was not familiar with his game, because this man comes down the building and instantly snatches him up like Swiper the Fox. Like, whoa, 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 now, you got too much dip on your chip. Like, the fight just started, Megatron. Calm down, little bro. It ain't that deep. So Megatron and Optimus smashed through an entire building, and they played it in slow motion to show how much property damage they actually caused, giving the Avengers a run for their money. Like, I know for a fact that the construction people that made that building are mad angry, knowing the fact that they have to spend another 10 years rebuilding it. But anywho, Optimus and Megatron smash through the building and start tumbling onto the ground like they're in the WWE. So Megatron ends up on top of Prime and then smacks him in the head and starts talking about, humans don't deserve to live. Like, tell me that's not one of the hardest villain quotes of all time. I know Majin Buu heard that from somewhere and was like, yeah, that's heat. Bro, you know you're a complete menace when even Optimus is starting to back away from you. Like, Megatron had this man fearing for his life. Optimus wanted nothing to do with him. So then Megatron grabs Prime's neck and chokes him out like how Homer does to his son Bart Simpson. Just straight bullying my guy Optimus. Megatron slams Optimus to the ground. And bro, I know I ain't the only one that peeped this. Why is this civilian hiding behind a pole? Like they're better off running away. And dog, they're not even positioned properly. Like Megatron can clearly see you right now. And then Megatron pulls out the blicky. And my guy had the extended mag on there and everything. He had on all of the attachments off of Call of Duty. He was not playing around. So Optimus fires at Megatron, but surprisingly it does no damage. Like bro must have had on maxed out armor plates for that to have no effect on him. Megatron hits a clean turnaround and shoots Optimus. And look at the way he had this man flying. Oh nah. Like what kind of artillery is my dog Megatron using right now? Cause that looked way too powerful. And then Optimus crashes into the building and then falls to the ground. And then he's like,
I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting cooked.
So now that Megatron is done fighting with Optimus for now, he makes his way over to Sam and we see him running with the cube, which we all know Optimus is fiending to get right now, like Tai Lung fiending to get the Dragon Scroll. And I'm actually weak, cause Sam really thinks he can hide away from Megatron, Like, who are you trying to fool, bro? Out of all of the possible hiding places, this is the one you choose. Like, I actually can't take Sam seriously, bro. Megatron is like, give me the Allspark.
Nope.
And I'm not even gonna lie, if I was Sam in this situation, you can have the cube Megatron. Like, what chance do I stand against a whole giant with nefarious intentions? Like, nah, I'm not dealing with that. And Sam didn't back down though, cause he wasn't trying to hand the cube over. So Megatron is like, I bet. How about you try to survive this fall? And Sam starts falling off of the building, but our dog Optimus comes in clutch and catches Sam in his hand. Like, that's gotta be plot armor. Cause how did Optimus know where he was gonna land? Optimus wasn't trying to deal with Megatron for a second time, so he starts getting away. But then Megatron pops out of nowhere with the Hall of Fame chasedown badge activated. Megatron is a D1 crash out. He didn't care about his life or anyone else's. So this man tries grabbing him in mid-air. But then they both end up falling to the pavement. Like, what was he thinking, dog?
Round 2.
Alright, next round and the fight starts and Megatron tosses Optimus to the ground, but then walks up to him and then kicks him in the face, giving him permanent PTSD. And basically, the fight ends with the army blasting at Megatron, sending him down to the ground, to which Sam kills him by putting the cube in Megatron's chest. I don't know how that worked, but it is what it is. So the scene kicks off with the bootleg Team Rocket rolling up on Bumblebee and Charlie, and I'm actually weak, cause tell me why they're running like they're holding in the fattest crop of their lives. So Shatter shoots at Charlie and sends her flying to the dirt, and Bumblebee is not fooling anyone, bro, because you weren't even protecting her properly. Like, we can clearly see that her entire body is still showing. Shatter walks up to Bumblebee and starts talking about, tell us where Optimus Prime is hiding. But you know he ain't no snitch. He's not turning his back on the big dog Optimus Prime, the leader of the Autobots. He's not pulling a gun up. Shatter punches Bumblebee and then Dropkick follows up by kicking him like a soccer ball. Like, oh nah, look at how they're treating my goat Bumblebee. What did he do to deserve this? And out of nowhere, the army comes in and electrocutes Bumblebee, which has him twitching like crazy. Like, they really did Bumblebee dirty in his own movie. Like, dog, I need someone to tell me what John Cena is doing in the army right now. Like, bro really thinks he's a part of the team. Who even invited him? And don't even get me started with Dr. Powell, cause he really thought that Shatter and Dropkick were on his side the entire time, talking about,
Well, actually, these robots can help us advance in technological warfare. Shut your nerd ass up!
So Bumblebee wakes up in Sector 7, and the next thing you know, he's being tortured by Shatter and Dropkick. Like, bro, Bumblebee is like that one friend that falls asleep at the sleepover and gets all types of pranks done on him. And I'm not even gonna lie, this was actually painful to watch. So after they find out that Optimus's entire plan was that all of the Autobots will seek refuge at Earth, Shatter and Dropkick knew that they had to spawn camp and wait for Optimus to suddenly appear. And we see Dr. Powell in the background realizing that Shatter and Dropkick were the ops the entire time. Had my boy hitting the,
oh no, this can't be.
Sir, we made a terrible mistake.
well, of course you made a terrible mistake, and I don't even want to see you on my screen ever again, cause just seeing you pisses me off, bro. So after Shatter blasts Bumblebee, making him unconscious, they both dip the scene thinking that Bumblebee is actually dead. But what they didn't know was that Bumblebee was about to make the craziest comeback of all time, looking like LeBron out here. Alright, so Bumblebee comes back to life, and this is where it was time for Bumblebee to cook up a 5-star meal, with both Shatter and Dropkick included in it. Okay, boom, the scene starts off with Bumblebee putting Charlie in the dumpster so that he can go handle business with Shatter and Dropkick, and finally get it back in blood after what they just did to him. Bumblebee puts on his shicey and then starts blasting at the transmission tower, to which Dropkick turns into a helicopter and starts his fight with Bumblebee. And this is where I grabbed my popcorn, cause it was about to go down. So Bumblebee turns into Mario and does some parkour and meets Dropkick in the air. And bro, he really charged up that punch like Luffy. Like, look at how far he went back with that. He was really trying to put Dropkick into a coma with that single punch. But then Dropkick body slams Bumblebee and sends them flying through a few boats and onto the ground. And Charlie was in fear watching this, because she knew that if Bumblebee got packed up, she was next on the list. So Dropkick lands a mean uppercut on Bumblebee, had that man looking upwards in the sky and observing the moon. Oh nah. Bumblebee tries shooting a rocket at Dropkick, but he says,
Not in my heart.
and then puts his arm to the side, making him shoot nothing. My guy Dropkick is locked in right now, I'm not even gonna lie. So then Dropkick almost blasts Bumblebee's entire face off with that blast, but he somehow misses like Ben Simmons going in for a 3-pointer. And who would have guessed? It goes flying towards Charlie, who's camping inside of the dumpster. I'm surprised she's still alive, cause that trash can must have been made out of vibranium for her to be still walking on her feet after that one. So the cameraman pans back over and we see Bumblebee land an elbow on Dropkick's knee, giving him that your rage treatment. That man will need robotic surgery and need to be put in a wheelchair for the rest of his life. Bumblebee follows up with the cleanest backflip I've done ever seen. I don't even know what to call it, bro, but it looked like a move straight out of Super Mario Smash Bros. Maybe even Karate Kid. Bumblebee had that man Dropkick hitting the and then tackles him right after. Like, geez, bro, Bumblebee is straight feasting right now, giving Dropkick a run for his money. So Charlie finally puts herself to use and thinks of a quick plan to try and get over to the tower and shut down the beacon and prevent Shadow from communicating to the Decepticons. And bro, my only question right now is, how does she expect to get up there? She's one blast away from being reunited with Jazz and Ironhide. She's clearly not built for this mission. So Bumblebee tries a karate kick, but Dropkick grabs his leg and makes him look like the less than symbol and swings his body to the side and then smashes him through a box. And I want all of you guys to peep the CGI used on this scene right here. Charlie starts running towards the tower while Bumblebee and Dropkick are scrapping like crazy. Like, look at how hard that looks. The perfect camera angle and everything. Travis Knight was straight cooking when he made this film, bro. But sadly, I can't say the same about Michael Bay. The cameraman that he hired can't even hold a camera properly. Like, bro, I couldn't even tell what was going on in his movies. Charlie starts climbing up the tower, but then we suddenly see Bumblebee land a 360 elbow to the face into a kick straight into the gut. And I know that one hurt, cause Dropkick immediately kneeled down. Bumblebee then twists his arm around and then slams him to the ground. Like, bro, who is Bumblebee feeling like? He must have seen John Cena's WWE fighting mixtape and was like, oh yeah, I'ma copy his moves. So Bumblebee runs at Dropkick, but this man grabs him and throws him away like an action figure. I don't know what that was supposed to do, but hey, at least he tried, I guess. Bumblebee turns into a car, but he's not leaving though, cause he drifts back around like he's in Fast and Furious and then serves Dropkick with the meanest Superman punch known to mankind. Like, tell me that wasn't cold, bro. I've never seen Bumblebee go this crazy. Bumblebee and Dropkick exchange blows and then tumble down to the ground. And this is where Bumblebee activates his Sharingan and starts reading Dropkick like a book. So Bumblebee punches Dropkick and then says weave, and he wasn't playing fair, cause he picks up a piece of metal and whacks Dropkick's leg. Oh nah. Bumblebee hits Dropkick with the and smacks him in the head. And I know Bumblebee has one question for Dropkick right now.
If you could read one full page of a Harry Potter book.
So then Bumblebee hits the clean double dodge, had that man Dropkick swinging at straight air. Bumblebee kicks a trash can at Dropkick and then flips him over. And Dropkick was tired of the disrespect, cause he smacks Bumblebee, making him hit the now talk pose. Then Bumblebee kicks Dropkick in the jaw, then twists his neck around. And bro, Dropkick was trying to get out of there as fast as possible because he knew he couldn't hang with Bumblebee. He turns into a helicopter and starts shooting at Bumblebee, but then he just chains this man around and Dropkick is like,
You think these little chains can hold?
So Bumblebee blows this man's entire body into pieces, and yeah, I think these chains can actually hold you, bro. So Charlie finally takes out the green thing and shuts down the tower, and then Shadow tries shooting her, but Bumblebee is like, no, and flips Shadow to the ground and starts getting to work. Shadow is like, get off of me, and tosses Bumblebee to the pavement and then lands a falcon kick and starts beating up Bumblebee like an older sibling to his younger sibling. And right as Bumblebee is about to die, he shoots at the ship behind Shadow and she's like,
You missed.
Are you sure about that?
Basically, the scene ends with Bumblebee sending Shadow to the grave to meet with Dropkick and then takes off his shiesty and is like, yeah, I'm still him. So the scene starts off with Lockdown jumping off his gigantic ship and making one of the coldest entrances in Transformers history. Like, I know that Megatron, Scourge, and even Ironhide are cold villains, but there's just something about Lockdown that screams Black Air Force energy, just him being a straight crash out. Cause every time Lockdown had screen time, He was always causing havoc no matter what. So Lockdown hits the most majestic backflip since Ronaldo hitting that one bicycle kick in 2017. Like someone signed my boy up for the Olymp, giving him a minor case of CTE. And if you ask Optimus to speak a word, he's gonna be like, And we see Cade pull up to help Optimus, and at first thought, I'm like, bro, what are you gonna do against Lockdown? You don't stand a single chance. But let me tell you, I was completely wrong. Cade and Optimus are the best duo since Cookies and Milk. They were straight cooking in this fight. So Optimus and Lockdown clash weapons, but then Optimus smacks him with his shield, making Lockdown go back into 2016 and hit the dab. But then Optimus tries swinging his sword, but it gets shot out of his hands by Lockdown. And then Lockdown is like, there's no way out of this one. You're dead. Because he knows that Optimus Prime cannot throw hands to save his life. Lockdown realizes that Optimus without the sword is as useless as Skips and Mudflap. So he's like, oh yeah, it's free eats out here. And Lockdown just gets the straight working. Optimus tries taking Lockdown's head off with his shield, but he says weave, and then counters with a clean 360 karate kick straight to the face. They had my boy Optimus on all fours yelling in pure agony. And I'm not even gonna lie, Lockdown was the real deal back in 2014. He was standing on straight business against the Autobots, so Lockdown hits Optimus in the cranium, then elbows him in the neck, and this man jumps over his body and twists Prime's entire arm around. Oh nah, I'm surprised he didn't end up like this after getting his arm bent like that. Lockdown kicks Optimus to the wall. Like bro, he was straight up little broing Optimus like he owed him lunch money or something. And hey, to be honest, Lockdown might be stronger than Megatron. Number 1 Glazer, who arrives to the scene. So Unk starts talking about, it takes patience to make a man, the patience to watch and to protect our country quietly.
Shut your lame ass up.
Hey, I don't even know what that means, but you are not Optimus with the quotes. You need to stop it and get some help. Someone pass this man his pills, because he clearly needs them. My guy is straight tweaking, red eyes and everything. Like it's about time Optimus finally did something, bro. Lockdown tries grabbing Prime's leg, but he says weave and jumps right over it. And you could actually tell Optimus was tired of this, and he does something we've never seen Optimus do before. This dude Optimus literally shoots Unk and sends him to the grave. Like bro, that's the first time I've actually seen Optimus ever kill a human. But Optimus was not paying attention. Lockdown is a complete menace because he kicks Optimus like a soccer ball, but he's not finished. Cause the thing is, the only way Optimus could ever hang with Lockdown was if he called in Bumblebee and Cade to come jump this man like the Avengers on Thanos. And I know Lockdown is on low stamina right now, cause first he had to fight Optimus, but now Bumblebee. Like dang, give him a break. Making him fall to the ground. Dog, Bumblebee actually has no bag. Because bro tries the same move that he literally just used. Like that's not gonna work. Just straight up disrespecting Bumblebee. Meanwhile, we see Sam Witwicky off of Wish help out Optimus and take the sword out of his chest. So basically the movie ends with sending him to be met up with Megatron. I guess Optimus is still him. So the scene kicks off with Noah Diaz turning into a transformer, and my boy is mad clean. He got a fresh pair of Jordans on his feet. You already know him and Optimus are about to become the best duo since Josh and Drake. I knew they were about to cook. Noah's brother starts giving him that inspirational talk right through the walkie-talkie to help Noah lock in against his fight with Scourge.
Never back down, never give up.
Like take a look at Noah's face, he was looking Scourge dead in the eyes. And hey, I'm surprised he even had the guts to stand up against Scourge considering how Bumblebee got done right before this. Nah, but for real, what is that bootleg Master Chief outfit? We are not in Halo, bro. That suit is gonna do absolutely no justice for my guy Noah. Cause one blast from Scourge and he's gonna end up looking like this. Like I'ma keep it real with y'all. Scourge versus Noah is like a summer ant fighting a dinosaur. This is not even a fair fight. I don't know why Noah agreed to facing Scourge. Like no way you actually think you're gonna take down a whole 7-foot giant. You are not Sam Witwicky. Your name is Noah Diaz. Like bro, how did we downgrade this badly? We really went from one of the greatest actors of all time to getting Stephen Curry straight off of Temu. Like they really be casting anyone nowadays, because whose mans is this?
You put him on the team. Bro, don't.
So Noah starts talking about, yo Scourge, you remember me? Like, dog, what do you mean do you remember me? He literally just fought you 30 minutes ago. Of course he remembers you, unless he has the brain capacity of Gary the Snail. So then Scourge turns around to see who just called his name. And bro, look at his fingers. Like, those things are terrifying. It gives me goosebumps just from looking at them. Like, they look like Wolverine's claws but on steroids. Noah blasts his gun at Scourge and it does absolutely nothing. Not even a scratch or anything. And at this point, Noah knew that he was not built for this. He had that, yeah, I definitely screwed up type of face. Like, I don't know what he was expecting to happen. Did he really think that Scourge would be affected by that? So Scourge starts blasting away at Noah, and he must have got trained by some stormtroopers, because how are you missing Noah when he doesn't even know how the suit works? Cause bro was slipping and sliding and almost fell straight off of the edge. Like, someone get this man off of the battlefield and take him back home before he gets disintegrated into 5 million pieces. So Noah manages to get back onto the platform. And how are you huffing and puffing already? There's no way you're that tired after you barely moved around. Like, this man Noah has the same stamina as Rod Wave. Both of them only have one thing in common. They can only go 10 seconds of running before passing out. So then Scourge starts talking some sense into Noah, telling him that he has no chance of fighting him alone. But little did Scourge know was that Optimus was about to make one of the coldest entrances in the entire movie. Nah, cause that pull-up was so hard that it even had Noah in shock. Like, dang, I didn't know he was like that, Optimus. And he had the same reaction as me, because every time Optimus appears on my screen, it gives me a neutron activation. It's like Optimus only comes to the rescue just so that he can drop the hardest bars of all time. So then Optimus and Noah start running towards Scourge at full speed, and they were actually putting in work, because Noah had this man losing balance. And oh nah, look at how Optimus was running at Scourge. I've never seen him that pissed off in my entire life. Nah, cause Scourge is better than me though, cause if I saw Optimus coming at me like that, I would have vanished in less than 0.5 milliseconds. Scourge should have already knew not to go up against the raged version of Optimus. That was definitely his first mistake. Noah starts shooting at Scourge, which was obviously getting on his nerves, so he tries grabbing Noah, but Optimus is like,
Stop right there. Games. Stop right there.
And then uses his sword to prevent Noah from getting squashed like a grape. Optimus tries slicing Scourge, but he blocks his attack and then counters with a mean 360 elbow to the cranium. And at this moment, Noah knew that if he didn't start jumping Scourge, it was gonna be a real problem, cause he knew that Optimus was low-key getting cooked right now. And this is that LeBron and Wade type of chemistry, because Noah does some parkour and then uses his blade to put a hole inside of Scourge's leg, which makes him fall down to his knees. And I already know the only thing going through Scourge's mind right now is this.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
Like, bro, there's actually no way the beef between Optimus and Scourge was not personal, because look at the way Optimus charged up that punch. There's no reason for you to go back that far unless you're trying to discombobulate the other person. Optimus lands a clean right jab on Scourge's dome piece, and you could tell that one definitely hurt, cause you could hear the metal collide together. And my dog Scourge was out there fighting for his life, screaming his vocal cords out. And right as Noah was about to go help Optimus, he gets caught lacking by this Decepticon and gets snatched right up like an eagle with its prey. And if I'm Optimus in this situation, I'm not gonna lie, I'ma just let Noah die. Like, I'm not even gonna bother saving him, especially when I'm going up against one of the biggest menaces in all of Transformers. Like, I'm not Spider-Man, I don't have time to be saving humans when the entire Earth is at risk. So one of the Autobots tries launching a spear at Noah in an attempt to save him, but it somehow results in him getting hit and sent right to the ground. And my boy just sat there and accepted his fate. He knew that he was gonna be on a wheelchair for the rest of his life. And since now that Noah is away from Optimus, my dog Scourge takes full advantage, because he knows that Optimus is free eats when it comes to a 1v1. He just violated Optimus earlier, so his confidence level is skyrocketing through the roof. So then Scourge proceeds to kick Optimus right to the ground, and then all of a sudden, a bunch of tiny robots crawl onto Optimus and start attacking him. And they really had my boy suffering. He was just sitting there like this.
Help! Help me!
The cameraman switches back to Noah, and my man is shivering in his boots right now. The only thing Noah is wishing for right now is for everything that's happening to be a dream. But I'm sorry to tell you, Noah, this is a living nightmare and not a dream. This might be the end of your bloodline if you don't start locking in. They had my boy Noah getting surrounded by a bunch of Decepticons on the very edge, like he didn't even have an escape plan. He was just standing there bobbing his head around as if he was gonna get magically saved. But I mean, that's what you get for not staying home. You should have just listened to your little brother. I don't know what to tell this man. But right as everyone thought it was over for the Decepticons and the entire human race, we probably get the most unexpected pull-up that I've ever witnessed. The look on Scourge's face says it all. Even he was confused as to who was coming in from the sky. But we all know that can be one Autobot, and that's Bumblebee himself.
This is exactly what I've been waiting for. This is exactly, I don't mean to sound like Cat Williams, but this is exactly what I've been waiting for.
So my dog Bumblebee comes back from the gulag, and it was game time. Cause he put on the shiesty and started blasting his artillery at the Decepticons, and he actually managed to free Optimus from getting strangled by a bunch of tiny robots. Like bro, look at Optimus, my boy could not believe his eyes. He never thought he'd see the day Bumblebee would make his return. I know Optimus was on the verge of shedding a tear when he looked up in the sky and saw who it was. So one of the Decepticons body slams Bumblebee, but then he serves her up with a telegraphed headbutt and then takes off her wing and makes her explode. Like bro, tell me that's not one of the greatest entrances of all time. And to top it all off, Bumblebee lands on the ground and says this:
I have come here to kick ass.
Optimus is like, it's just you and me, Scourge. And it's about dang time we get the final fight between Optimus and Scourge. Like it's been a good 20 minutes since we've actually got the real action. I'm tired of seeing Noah Diaz on my screen. He's straight dookie. So Scourge blasts at Optimus, but he pulls out a ballerina spin and then splashes some lava onto Scourge, which surprisingly catches him off guard. I already know that was burning like crazy. Optimus did not have to do him like that. Optimus swings his sword at Scourge and then grinds his head against the wall, but then Scourge calls in his reinforcements, but we already know nobody can save him at this point. Like he should have never messed with Bumblebee in the first place. This is karma if you ask me. And the Autobots were actually going stupid out there, cause they were completely destroying everyone that got in their way. They even had Noah cooking up the Decepticons. That's how I knew it was over for them. So Optimus headbutts Scourge and then puts his entire blade through his chest, making him kneel down on all fours, talking about how he'll never see his home planet ever again. Like that man Optimus was not playing around, I'm telling you. Optimus puts his entire body into the lava, and it got so bad that he even had to look away while he was killing Scourge. Like he was doing him so bad he didn't even want to take a glimpse at him. And as a last effort, Scourge tries shooting the humans, but obviously ends up missing because he's completely trash and has zero accuracy. So Optimus is like, I've had enough. And if Optimus out of all people tells you that he's had enough, best believe he actually has had enough, because he chops off his arms and then puts a blade straight in his head and then takes it right off of his body. Optimus takes the badge off of Scourge and hands it over to Bumblebee. And I guess you could say that Optimus will always be that guy. Okay, boom. The fight starts off with Optimus and Bumblebee trying to make it out alive from the water before they get turned into a Pokemon that ran out of breath. The last thing they want is to get killed by natural causes. But wait, hold on. I might actually be dumb, because I don't think robots need air to survive. I definitely got that flight reacts type of IQ.
That's a duck, right? Or that's a pelican.
So Bumblebee tosses a hammer at Prime's feet. Like bro, tell me what exactly that was gonna do for you. That attack was the equivalent of Jake Paul throwing a punch, because that obviously is gonna have zero effect on him. Like I'm pretty sure Bumblebee could have came up with a better move than that, because you are not Mudflap, you actually know how to fight, bro. Optimus tries landing a left jab on Bumblebee, but he pulls out the most majestic backflip I've ever seen. So Optimus plunges out of the water with Bumblebee hanging onto his leg. And bro, when I first saw this fight, it took me a good minute to actually comprehend the fact that two Autobots are actually fighting. Like you guys are on the same team. Y'all have been homies since 2007. All that friendship gone down the drain. But anywho, Bumblebee uses his hammer and lands a clean reverse straight onto Prime's cranium, had that man reconsidering if he should have ever betrayed the Autobots. That man is a pure traitor, a disgrace to his own kind even. I knew Prime was cooked the moment Bumblebee knocked the shield out of Prime's hand. He had no type of defense to block himself from getting attacked. No sword, no nothing. So Bumblebee jumps into the air and slams Optimus Prime's head straight into the ground. And I know his head looks like Tyler 1 after getting striked in the head 2 times in a row. That man Bumblebee really smacked the remaining brain cells out of Optimus's head. And I don't know what was going through Cade Yeager's head, but this man is literally getting hit with a life-threatening tsunami, and he decides that the best option is to run right towards the water that's coming right for him. Like, bro, how many chromosomes do you got left in your brain? Cause this man Cade makes Patrick Star look like a smart person, because what did you actually think that would accomplish except for killing you? And Cade starts screaming as if he didn't expect that he would start drowning in the water. I don't know what to tell this man, except that he's a complete donkey. Maybe start running away from the water next time, maybe that will help you, buddy. So Bumblebee tries hitting Optimus with his hammer, but he luckily blocks both of his attacks, and then Bumblebee reads him like a book and does a backflip to dodge Prime's sword. And I'm not even gonna lie, you gotta give props to Bumblebee for even standing up to Optimus, because this man isn't even in his weight class and he's holding up against an evil version of Optimus that's fully powered up. But this is where Optimus starts cooking, because we all knew that Bumblebee was still gonna get worked. So Optimus is like, I am Nemesis Prime. And I know Bumblebee heard that and was like, what? What's a Nemesis Prime? The only Prime I know is Optimus. I know Bumblebee was crapping his pants when he heard that. Optimus grabs Bumblebee and elbows him in the head, but this man wasn't playing around, because he picks him up like he's Bumblebee's father. Like, I'm telling you, he was straight sunning this man. He had no remorse for his actions. He had nothing to lose. This man literally breaks off Bumblebee's parts and then says, you are nothing. Like, this variant of Optimus Prime was really on demon timing. He was quite literally on Megatron's level when it came to causing havoc. So Optimus tosses Bumblebee to the ground. Like, bro, what did Bumblebee even do to deserve this? He's just trying to protect the planet for real. I don't see any wrong in doing that. But you already know what time it is. Bumblebee puts on the shicey, and this is where I knew things were gonna get real serious. We know what Bumblebee is capable of once he puts on that mask. So Bumblebee smacks Optimus to the ground, had that man hitting the now talk pose like a Gotham City resident. Optimus was not familiar with Bumblebee's game, because he had this man knocked out like he was out for the count. Someone throwing the towel. So Bumblebee comes flying in with the most egregious finisher, but somehow it does absolutely no damage on Optimus. And then he starts stomping all over this man, and I'm not even gonna lie, it was looking like it was game over for Optimus. And Optimus Prime is so lucky because he gets bailed out. And low-key, Bumblebee would have won if they didn't get hit by that wave of water, because Bumblebee was straight cooking this man Optimus. He was going for straight headshots, giving Optimus a nasty case of CTE. So then they come tumbling down the platform, and then Optimus grabs Bumblebee and gives him that Miguel O'Hara treatment and just constantly slams him to the ground. Like, bro, why are you so angry? Calm down. And Optimus was really about to take off Bumblebee's entire head, but he suddenly activates the shiesty right in time to prevent himself from getting chopped apart. So right before Optimus is about to turn Bumblebee into a pack, he starts talking some sense into Optimus.
I am Bumblebee, your oldest friend. Optimus.
And Bumblebee's voice alone was enough for Optimus to come back to his senses like he's Omni-Man, and he finally reverts back to the good old Optimus. Then Optimus proceeds to pull out the most iconic quote in Transformers history.
What have I done?
Like, this beating that Optimus gave Bumblebee was unforgettable, because I'ma be 60 years old and still remember what Optimus did to this man. Like, I don't know if I can claim Optimus as my favorite Transformer anymore. So after Optimus Prime beat the living daylights out of Bumblebee, we all knew he wasn't gonna get off the leash just because he was the leader of the Autobots. The universe required correction, and Optimus Prime had to be sentenced to death by the Guardian Knights as they all gathered to jump Optimus for attempting to kill his own kind. The Guardian Knights straight up start hammering Optimus Prime, and the humans are in complete shambles right now because they tried every tactic in the book to help Optimus. But we all know screaming was not gonna work, so Cade just comes in out of nowhere and hits the slip and slide like he's he's gonna save the day like Superman. Like, who does bro think he is? Like, I guarantee you, if she wasn't watching right now, Kate would have just dipped on Optimus. Like, come on, let's be real. So Kate starts talking to Optimus exactly how Max was speaking to Adam in Real Steel, and he's like, get up!
You chose the wrong side.
And the Guardian Knights show absolutely no remorse for Prime's actions, cause they start bashing Prime repeatedly with their axes, all because he was simping for Quintessa back on planet Cybertron. Like, this man Optimus is shameful. He really chose a robotic mermaid over his best friend. Take that in for a second. Do you know how crazy that sounds? Cade saw his own mans getting violated by the Guardian Knights and said, oh nah, I gotta intervene. I can't let Prime go out like this. And so right as one of the Guardian Knights is about to land the finishing blow, this man Cade on some anime timing somehow turns his arm into a blade and stops Optimus Prime from getting sent to the grave. Now, as trash as the last night really is, this has to be top 5 moments in the entire franchise. You can go argue with your pet snail, cause look at how cold his frame looks. But hold on, I don't know in what world a normal human is blocking a blow from a 500-pound giant, but hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. Cade really is the chosen one. He started showing off his sword like he was Zelda, and I know he felt like the hardest person on the entire planet with that save that he just pulled off. And as soon as the background music started playing, this is where I knew the Autobots were about to team back up as a group and start cooking the Decepticons. So the scene kicks off with Optimus jumping off of his Ender Dragon to get ready to fight against Megatron's entire crew. Like, you know, Optimus had to spin the block on Megatron after how he was stepping all over Prime and even ran his pockets. Like, bro, is this pose not crazy to you? Like, Optimus was bound to crash out after how badly he just got disrespected. He was not gonna let that slide. Optimus slides behind Infernicus and uses the Guardian Sword to slice him apart like a watermelon, and then he proceeds to call him an ugly mess. But Prime is not done yet though, cause he pulls out one of the most memorable quotes of all time, a certified classic.
Did you forget who I am?
Man, I can never get sick of those Optimus Prime one-liners. Like, all he said was, did you forget who I am? But it still hit harder than my parents' belt. Like, Optimus is really the king when it comes to Instagram captions. He just doesn't miss. So they all rush at Optimus Prime, only for bro to hit a clean sword swipe, taking off all of their heads at one time. And then bro proceeds to say,
I am Optimus Prime.
Like, dog, we get it, man. You don't have to say this every single movie. We know what your name is, bro. And before we get into the main course, might as well smash the subscribe button if you're here already. Now we really cut to the action, and it starts off with these two idiots going towards the explosion, resulting in them tumbling and rolling across the floor. And don't act surprised if you guys get disintegrated into small pieces like a Nature Valley bar, because as humans, you should be hiding from the Decepticons, not running into their base. Like, this should be common sense. Cade is really in the wrong place at the wrong time. He should be at home with his daughter, not in the middle of a Cybertronian war. And bro, don't even get me started with Shorty over here. I don't even know her name. Like, what are you ducking under? She's really acting like we can't see her even though she's in plain sight. So the Autobots start tackling Megatron and just doing whatever they can to put an end to Megatron's and Quintessa's evil actions. And we see Hound barely dodge that attack, but then Megatron gets trapped in some sort of bubble, which sets up Hound perfectly cause he starts spamming his machine gun and makes Megatron fall down on all fours.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting cooked.
Bumblebee sneaks up from behind and starts hanging onto Megatron's back. Like, nah, I'm actually weak. What does Bumblebee actually think he can do? Bro is like 10 times smaller than Megatron. Look at the size difference. Bumblebee is really trying his hardest to be a part of the team. Hard over height, but I respect it though. So Megatron takes Bumblebee off of his back and smacks him to the ground like a side character, but Optimus Prime, being the realist, joins the battle and chops off Megatron's arm, making this nasty liquid come out of his body. Like, ew, bro, what is that, Gatorade? So then Megatron grabs Prime's sword and then gives him a nasty headbutt, and right as he's about to slice off Prime's head, he pulls out the most sensational quote known to mankind.
We were brothers once.
That one almost put a tear to my eye, and you know what? Now that I'm going back to the last night, this final battle was really perfect. Perfect. Everything down to the last minute detail. But Optimus Prime heard that and he's like, we? What do you mean we? We're not brothers anymore. We've been beefing for over a decade. We're enemies now. So the inner savage inside of Prime starts to take over completely, and then he outpowers Megatron and follows up with a mean karate kick, sending him flying out of the ship to who knows where. I'm not even gonna lie, Megatron's KD ratio is garbage. Bro really got killed 3 times and came back to life for no reason. I think we can all agree after 2007, Megatron just doesn't hit the same as a villain anymore. So Quintessa tries avenging Megatron by electrocuting Optimus Prime, but then he says,
"Say hello to my friend."
And Bumblebee comes in clutch by blasting Quintessa out of existence, but after putting up that spectacular performance, he ends with the corniest quote I've ever heard.
Sting like a bee.
Brother, this guy stinks!
And the movie ends with this fire scene where all the Autobots posted up on the block after wiping out the Decepticons, and everything is finally back to normal. But except for one thing, we have billions of dollars in property damage, nothing too serious. The Avengers can relate. So the scene kicks off with the Autobots storming into the KSI facility so that they can rescue Cade Yeager after he got captured by the feds for keeping Optimus Prime in his barn without their permission. And you could tell that the Autobots were not playing around when it came to the humans, because they were running up the stairs mad angry like they were Bowser or something. They had all the workers slipping and falling, and I know they were confused as to why there were 10-foot robots running around their building. They probably thought they were in a nightmare or something. So meanwhile, Cade Yeager is being interrogated by Lockdown's #1 glazer, talking about, "Who do you think I work for? I'm trying to protect your family. I'm trying to defend the nation." And Cade Yeager instantly knew that this bum was trying to manipulate him into thinking that he was a good person, cause he's like, "Trying to protect my family. Didn't you just try to kill my daughter like 30 minutes ago?" He knew that this man was capping hella hard. You could just tell by Cade's face he wanted to throw hands for stealing his property and putting it up for sale for $20 and a nickel. Do you know that Lockdown gives me foot rubs before tucking me into bed every night? You wish Optimus would give you the exact same treatment, don't you? And Cade just heard what this freaky old man just said, and he's like,
"Weird, buddy. You're weird."
And then all of a sudden, Bumblebee uses a helicopter to make his way up to save Cade. And I know I'm not the only one that caught this small detail, cause bro really tried running away but tripped on the floor and act like we would not notice. "I fallen and I can't get up, head-ass." And this man starts telling the Autobots to stop because it's company property. But then Optimus Prime is like,
Shut your lame ass up.
and Optimus definitely saw that boat-like Bumblebee that they were making off of Temu and called a stinger, cause he's like,
He copied my whole flow! Word for word, bar for bar!
"You want to be us so badly, but this is our property that you took from us." My guy still did not learn his lesson after half of his building got destroyed. Like, dog, that right there should be a clear sign to freeze and listen to Optimus Prime. But nah. This man tries arguing with the Autobots, talking about technology is evolving, and if we don't do it, then someone else will. Like, bro, he really thought he could make rip-off versions of the Autobots and get away with it. And Optimus heard what this man just said, and he got mad angry. He was not trying to hear this nonsense anymore, cause he starts crashing out and breaking glass. And then Mr. Clean turns his head around and he's like,
I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting cooked.
So Optimus Prime tells the Autobots to roll out and to leave the KSI headquarters before they lose their temper completely. So they make their way out of there, but then we see the Ops plotting something nefarious against the Autobots, planning to get it back in blood, because obviously they're not gonna let the Autobots destroy their property without any consequences. So Unk starts telling Mr. Clean that it's finally time to release Galvatron out of the facility to fight against the Autobots, and as soon as bro told him that this is a CIA military mission, you could tell that he was not made for this. Like, they even had Jack Harlow on the side in pure distress looking at Mr. Clean, knowing that a whole war is about to start. They knew that this fight was over before it even started, like Kendrick Lamar versus Drake. And Mr. Clean was actually confident that Galvatron and Stinger would actually stand a chance against the Autobots, cause he starts talking about,
"Let's show these alien terrorists what an upgrade looks like."
Nah, cause this man really tried his hardest making Galvatron look like it's vicious. My dog, this is a normal UPS truck. By the way he was talking, I thought he was about to unleash a Bugatti or something. Like, this is not an upgrade. This is a complete downgraded version from Megatron straight off of Wish. Like, I bet this guy sells fake AirPods online and tells people they're real. Stay away from this man at all costs. He's a scammer. And ladies and gentlemen, before the real fight actually starts, might as well hit that subscribe button if you made it this far. So Galvatron rolls up on Optimus Prime to run the fade. And yo, we're not serious right now, cause I really thought Galvatron would be some sort of prodigy, because the moment he transforms, he crashes into a vehicle. Nah, cause how are you a transformer but don't know how to transform properly? This is sad to watch, I'm not even gonna lie. And to make matters even worse, this man Galvatron starts malfunctioning and breaks 2 cars by splitting them apart. Like bro, whoever programmed this robot needs to be fired immediately, because the target is not regular civilians, it's Optimus Prime. Like whoever is controlling Galvatron must be off of perk 30 right now. Like even Mr. Clean was standing there questioning what was going on with Galvatron right now, cause he asked one of the workers if he was programmed correctly, but this man really tells him this.
You are programming this, right?
Yes. Mostly.
You could tell by his face that he wanted to smack the living goofy out of this man, cause he probably wasn't telling him the truth as to why Galvatron was acting up and doing weird things that he wasn't meant to do. And Galvatron was out here looking like LeBron James at the 3-point line, nothing but straight misses, because this man Galvatron fired at least half of his rockets but managed to land none of them on target. Like I know Megatron was watching Galvatron's terrible performance down in the grave like this.
Roderick, can you explain what you're doing in this photo?
That's not me.
That's not you?
Nope. Like these boys were straight up selling the entire team, because they really misfired 4 rockets somehow. Like you know it's bad when Optimus didn't even have to move his truck to dodge the bullets. He wasn't even sweating a little bit. And all types of action is unfolding on the highway, which inevitably causes 2 vehicles to collide together. But then Optimus and Bumblebee, being real ones, jump into the air and save these humans in slow motion. And I think that this is the first time I've ever seen the cameraman not having an aneurysm while holding the camera in a film. I mean, we all do remember how hard the camera was shaking in Revenge of the Fallen. But anywho, this was pretty fire. Seeing them flying over the bridge in 0.5 times speed had me in my chair like, ooh. So Bumblebee hangs over the bridge with his shiesty on and everything. You cannot forget about the drip, always gotta have it on. And he shoots it at Galvatron, and at first I thought he got turned into straight Lego pieces from the impact of those rockets, but he suddenly reverts back to his original form. Had Bumblebee mad shocked like he's seen a ghost or something. Then Galvatron proceeds to fire some rockets at Optimus, but all it does is damage the roads and cars, hitting everything except Optimus Prime. Like Galvatron letting off all of this artillery, I would think he lands at least one of the 50 rockets that he launched. Like the person who's in charge of controlling Galvatron needs to get his eyes checked, because I don't know what he's aiming at. So Cade and Shane jump out of Optimus Prime before they get turned into ground beef like Kevin Durant's hair, and they roll onto the ground successfully without getting their arm or limb blasted off, which is actually pretty surprising. And bro, this is where Optimus Prime starts cooking up like he's 2022 Lionel Messi at the World Cup, because he hits the iconic Winter Soldier recovery pose and then puts on the shiesty, getting ready to handle business with Galvatron in a 1v1 street fight on the highway. And when I was watching this movie, I kid you not, I was ready to punch a hole through my screen, because tell me why Shorty is crawling backwards like she's a Call of Duty zombie. Like I'm actually getting pissed off commentating over this. Bro, if you don't get back up off of the floor and skedaddle back to safety, like what is she even doing on the ground? Optimus and Galvatron were going at it and she's just sitting there watching like she has front row tickets to the fight. Like his dad is really out here yelling his lungs out trying to communicate to his 20 IQ daughter that she needs to get back on her feet and run for her life. And it's about time Shorty finally starts using her ears for once, cause she starts running towards the field, but then we see Optimus in the very back get tumbled to the ground like a bowling ball. And then Galvatron proceeds to land a clean 360 spinning kick on Optimus, which none of us saw coming from anywhere. Like bro was really out there moving like Chang from Karate Kid with those diabolical moves that had Jaden Smith on the floor crying. So Optimus puts his blade inside of Galvatron's chest thinking he did something, but he realizes that it has absolutely no effect on him because Galvatron has nothing in his chest. And I'm just sitting here like, dang, how are you supposed to defeat him? Because even if Optimus somehow chops off Galvatron's head, it's probably gonna regenerate and come back like nothing just happened. And this is where all Optimus Prime fans got on their knees and started crying in tears, because we all know what's about to happen next. It's just tragic, man. Out of nowhere, this man Optimus gets a rocket blasted right through his chest while he's fighting Galvatron. Like nah, my dog Optimus can never get a fair fight. He's always getting jumped in every situation he's in. My boy can never catch catch a single break. And I'm just scratching my head right now wondering who just landed that critical hit on my dog Optimus Prime. But it can be none other than Lockdown himself, the dog of all Decepticons. And then Lockdown starts walking down the highway looking mad cold, posing for that new IG flick, showing off his black Air Forces in his gigantic ship in the background like he's a video game final boss character. And Lockdown said he had his Warzone class maxed out with every attachment and grip and scope that you could possibly unlock, cause he pulls out this crazy looking weapon and blasts the life out of Optimus Prime, sending him right to the ground. Like the Autobots really left my boy Optimus alone with no help. Like, can someone tell me where Bumblebee randomly disappeared? He left Optimus to fight alone this whole time, no backup or anything, just like when he was fighting Megatron in that forest.
Where was you when I needed you?
So Lockdown starts pressing Optimus in his beans and toast accent with his broken teeth, talking about,
"Oi, why are you disrespecting me, bruv? My mistake, original gangster. No, this cannot be forgiven."
And yeah, basically the scene ends with Lockdown capturing Optimus Prime and Cade's daughter in this net and taking him hostage in his ship. So the scene kicks off with Lockdown emerging from the water like Diddy getting ready to sneak up on his next target. Pause. And as soon as bro took off that shiesty and activated his maxed out Warzone weapon, I knew that Lockdown had nothing but straight nefarious intentions on his mind, because where did he even spawn in from? Like, he was literally camping in the water waiting for Ratchet to appear. That's how dedicated this man is to wiping out the Autobots off of the face of the earth. Like, Lockdown is literally a D1 hater. Like, you would think Lockdown alone would be enough to hunt down and kill Ratchet, right? Cause he does have X-ray vision to track down any target that he sees in his sight. But nah, this man is a tryhard, because he pulled up with an entire army, at least 100 deep. Like, they were really out here treating this like a military mission. They straight up despise the Autobots. What do you need this many people for? So then Cemetery Wind proceeds to deploy some military drones in the air. And peep how they had like 15 cameras to track down Ratchet. Like, I'm actually crying. They really think it's Five Nights at Freddy. What's the point of all these cameras? They really spent their entire budget on this single mission. Like, all this for a drop of blood? So they finally locate Ratchet using their X-ray technology, and at this point I knew it was over for my guy. It was wraps, because they proceed to plant an explosive, and right as I saw Ratchet fall to the ground, I was ready to look away from my screen, cause I already knew what was about to come next. Like, might as well turn off the movie at this point to save myself from shedding into tears. Cemetery Wind starts calling in all types of score streaks from the sky like it's Call of Duty. I'm talking war machines, killer drones, and stealth choppers. Like, they really wasted all of their artillery on Ratchet for what? Like, no, stop torturing him. So Ratchet starts running away as fast as he can, but Cemetery Wind were straight up relentless, cause they couldn't let my guy catch a single break. Ratchet was out here tumbling and rolling on the floor trying his best to escape, but then he gets his leg blasted off his body. Like, nah, why they gotta do Ratchet like that? It could have been skips or mud flips. They're useless. Like, this really made me furious. I was ready to throw some hands after I saw that. I need some justice for my guy Ratchet. He can't go out like this. And Ratchet is literally on life support right now, cause not only can't he walk anymore, but he's surrounded by Cemetery Wind and Lockdown. And the sad part is that no Autobots are coming to the rescue. There's no way out of this one. You're done. So after all that, this man has the audacity, the nerve to say, "Why are you running?" Like, bro, use your brain, you bootleg ninja. Why do you think Ratchet is running away from you? You guys are trying to hunt him down. What do you want him to do? Stand there and watch himself get blasted apart? Ratchet even tried calling all Autobots by using his distress signal, but nobody even picked up the phone, not even a message or anything. Like, isn't it kind of funny that when Sam Wiki is in danger, the Autobots come to the rescue immediately, but when it's Ratchet, you guys are like, nah, we will not be there no matter what. Like, you guys need to get your priorities straight. And Ratchet is completely hopeless, cause he tells Cemetery Wind that his race is in danger and that they're hiding to seek refuge. And I mean, he's not wrong. They got my boy Optimus stuck inside of a barn, and this guy right here really turns my buttons. Like, you're honestly an idiot, an imbecile, and I can't stand you, because look at what this man says.
I lost a sister in Chicago. We do not care.
Like, Ratchet is going through it right now. Do you really think he cares about your family out of all things? Like, he does not know who you are, little bro. And then Lockdown pulls out this gigantic sniper rifle and he shoots Ratchet out of nowhere. And I'm not gonna lie, this man is really Sneak Nation certified. He did the exact same thing to Optimus later in the movie. He always finds a way to catch the Autobots lacking when they least expect it. And while Ratchet is getting completely eviscerated by Cemetery Wind, he starts talking about,
wrong with you humans?
And I'm sitting here asking myself the exact same question, because all Ratchet ever wanted to do was protect humanity from the Decepticons. Like, maybe Thanos was right, some of y'all gotta go. So Lockdown walks up to Ratchet on some disrespectful timing, and he's like, I'll let you survive if you tell me what Optimus Prime is hiding. But Ratchet is actually the realest of the realest. You know he ain't no 6'9", he's not a snitch. Nope. Like, even if you put some McDonald's in front of Ratchet, he's still gonna keep his mouth shut, because that's just how loyal he is. And then Ratchet is like, I'll never tell you where Optimus Prime is hiding. And this is just moments before disaster, because he pulls a cube out from Ratchet's chest and sends him to the Gulag to be reunited with Jazz and Ironhide. And before we get into the main course of the video, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you made it this far. 1 sub equals justice for what just happened to Ratchet. But yeah, let's continue with the video. Alright, so the FBI pulls up to Cade's house, and I'm not gonna lie, Cade was kinda shook, cause he gulped knowing what was about to happen next, because they told Cade that he was trying to track down an abandoned truck, which we all know as Optimus Prime. But Cade was standing on business, cause he's like, get off of my property before I do something about it, and he tells him that he doesn't know what truck he's talking about, knowing dang well he's capping his head off. Hey men, search the property. You can't search my property, you don't have a warrant.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you
We don't care.
And this absolute buffoon pisses me off so much, because he's like, if you guys find a truck, we get a reward, right?
Shut your
Like, when I was watching this film, I honestly didn't know what team he was on. Like, Cade is better than me, because if I heard him say that, I would have smacked the goofy out of this man. So the FBI starts searching the barn, but they end up finding no signs of Optimus Prime anywhere. And right as they were about to leave, this man Cade sells the bag completely, because he starts talking about,
Okay, yes, I found a truck, alright? I towed it back for the parts. I left it here last night. This morning, it's gone.
Like, bro, you had one job. If you kept your mouth shut for like 2 more minutes, the FBI would have been gone and everything would have been back to normal. Like, what's the point of telling them you found a truck, but telling them it's not actually there? Like, that's the equivalent of me saying I have a good hairline, except that I actually don't. So then the cameraman switches back to Lockdown's #1 glazer, and he hits the Kobe and drains a long distance shot. Like, bro, this man is working for the wrong profession. Someone give him a contract to the Chicago Bulls. Like, look at the form on the shot, look at the precision, look at the flicker there is. Wait a minute, he said he knows Optimus Prime. And this is where Cade discovers that he made a fatal mistake, because the FBI realizes that he has ties with Optimus Prime and knows him on a personal level. And this is where things are about to go down. This evil FBI agent tells them to use the girl, and then they toss her to the ground like a rag doll. Like, nah, ain't no way y'all are taking this that seriously over a piece of scrap metal. Cause pulling out guns for all of this is crazy. But then Cade is like, you're gonna shoot my little girl? If I have to. Huh? So the FBI agent is like, gun to the back of your head, name 3 DDG songs. You have 7 seconds.
I fucked that. Bro, damn.
And the screaming and crying alone was enough to unleash Optimus Prime, so he pops out of the wood, then sends 2 FBI agents flying out of the barn. And then he rolls outside and then pulls out the coldest one-liner talking about, Optimus racks up some easy kills on these NPCs, sending them flying off of the car. And then we see Lockdown being posed up on a platform, just shooting rockets from a distance. And then this man literally blew up Cade's entire house. Like, Lockdown is the literal definition of a menace. He did not have to do that. And then we get this clean slow motion car jump with the FBI agents getting their heads bashed against the wheels. And Shane arrives in perfect time to evacuate the area and to get to safety. So Cade is like, who are you and why are you calling my daughter baby? And I'm saying the exact same thing. Like, who is this man? They really gave us a downgraded version of Sam Witwicky and acted like we would not notice. But I'm not gonna lie, Shane was out there looking like a pro driver, like he was Vin Diesel from Fast and Furious. Cause even with 10 cars after him, he was driving perfectly. So I'm not even gonna make fun of him, cause he's the main reason everyone is alive right now. So after a bit more chasing, they make it to this construction area where we see Lockdown shoot Optimus in the back while he's trying to get on top of the building. And then he smacks Optimus to the ground. Like, this man Lockdown is an actual threat, cause he was straight up bullying Optimus Prime the second he saw him. It was on sight. Optimus Prime starts hitting the dash like how your parents be chasing after you when you're about to get whooped. But then his big ass jumps to the other building and then blocks Lockdown's blade, takes his body and wraps it around with a wire, then makes him smash against the wall. Then Optimus comes in clutch and rams his body into some FBI trucks to help Cade and everyone else escape. And look at this guy in the air, he's 100% cooked. So Shane drives in into the parking lot, and then after a bit of getting chased, he decides to drift around and hop onto the ramp. And then we get this cinematic scene where he somehow lands without any problems. And I gotta give it to Shane, cause he was locked in during this entire car chase. And basically the scene ends with Lockdown throwing a grenade down at everyone, but luckily everyone survives except for this man, because he gets disintegrated into nothing but straight skeleton bones. I'm not gonna lie, that was the first time I actually started cheering for Lockdown, because I wanted to see that man get packed up so badly. So the scene kicks off with Optimus looking at the sky and seeing a huge yellow beacon, and this is where he realizes that it's finally his ticket to go home. My boy has been stuck on Earth for decades. I low-key feel bad for bro. I know he's sick and tired of constantly trying to save the city like he's Batman or something. Optimus Prime immediately calls all of the Autobots to form together and build an Avenger super team so that they can get their hands on the transwarp key as soon as possible. And we see Bumblebee make his appearance alongside Arky. And bro, I'm just thinking to myself, where are Skips and Mudflap? Like, they have to be the most useless Autobots of all time. I don't even know how they snuck their way into the team. Like, you know you're trash when the vehicle you transform into is literally an ice cream truck. My boy Optimus was on the verge of tears. He couldn't believe he was actually about to return to his home planet Cybertron and to be reunited with his people. He was just standing there hitting the "Oh my god! Wow!" Alright, so the cameraman switches locations like it's GTA, and we see my boy Noah Diaz trying to hijack a car. And you could tell bro was not about that life, because wasn't he just at a job interview like 10 minutes ago? Like, he was out here sweating and on the verge of hyperventilating. My guy has never stolen a car a day in his life. His homie is on the phone convincing him that it's too late to back out now, and he's talking about giving him some Twizzlers for all of this? Like, bro, what kind of setup is this? My dog Noah Diaz could find a better deal with a crack addict off of the streets. I know my boy Noah was tight when he heard he was getting some candy for committing a federal crime. So all of a sudden, we hear Optimus Prime speaking through the car, and turns out that the car that Noah was sitting inside of was Mirage the entire time. And this is where I knew that things were about to take a huge turn, like Lil Baby's entire music career. And Noah and his friend were hella confused as to who was talking to them through the speaker. They were just sitting there like this. Police! Help! Police! Help! My boy Noah does the only logical thing in this situation, which is obviously to get his ass out of there. But when Noah tries opening the door, turns out he's locked inside of the car with no escape. My boy is literally getting trolled by Mirage because he's not letting him out for some reason.
There's no way out of this one. You're done.
Noah makes that face after you realize you're cooked, and at this moment, I know that McDonald's application that he was about to fill out right before this was probably the best idea. Like, you could tell by his facial expressions that he just made the worst mistake in his entire life. And this part actually had me on the floor dying. Cause tell me why Noah tried hiding as if the security guard didn't just see you inside of the car. Like, bro, who are you trying to hide from? I'm pretty sure even Toph could see you and she's blind. Like, bro really thinks we can't see him right now. My boy Noah is tweaking out because he's like, how am I supposed to get out of the car when it started by itself? But then this is where Mirage takes full control and makes his way out of the parking garage. And Noah's homeboy is hyped up right now because he sees the car that he just stole make his way out of there. But this man is stupid. Like, why are you celebrating talking about...
Now let's talk to your manifestation!
Like, your friend is literally getting kidnapped by a transformer and getting chased by the cops, and you're just gonna sit there and watch? Like, you cannot convince me that this is not an L-Mans. He wanted Noah to get arrested and get sent to jail. There's no other explanation to this, bro. Hey bro, best believe when I get out of here, I'm finna spank your ass, no diddy. What did you just say? So after like 3 long minutes of being chased by the police, Noah finally makes his way into the warehouse where he gets shoved straight to the ground. Then Noah looks right in front of him and he was just sitting there flabbergasted. Like, bro, what did I just get myself into? And A, he's better than me, because if I saw a 7-foot robot talking to me, I would have been screaming my lungs out. So long story short, the Autobots come together as a team, and their plan is to get Noah to go inside of the museum and obtain the transwarp key for them. And my boy Noah had no choice but to accept this mission, because if he didn't, his family would have never heard a word from him ever again. Like, my boy Optimus is out here recruiting people like he's Nick Fury. He doesn't care if it's someone trashed like Hawkeye. He just needs someone with 2 working hands and feet to get the job done for him. And turns out, Noah Diaz was the perfect option. So fast forward and we're at the museum till where we see Scourge blasting at Noah and Elena, and they didn't get to wasting any time. They were out of there before they got turned into Tom Holland, straight dust particles. Then we see the Autobots make their arrival to try and defend the transwarp key from Scourge and his goons, and it was on sight because they got right to the action, no talking at all. It was game time, everyone was locked in. So this Terracon grabs onto a pillar and chucks it at Optimus Prime. And yo, we're not serious right now, cause what kind of attack is this? Did bro really think that throwing a pillar would do something? Like, does he not realize that even if he hits him with that, it's gonna do nothing? Because Optimus is made out of titanium. Like, I'm actually losing brain cells watching these Terracons fight because they're straight garbage. So Optimus breaks the pillar in half and then he comes face to face with Scourge, and this is where the real fight actually begins. We've all been waiting for this. Optimus swings at Scourge, but he says weave and then weave again. Like, dog, peep how effortlessly Scourge just dodged his attacks. This man literally saw what Prime was about to do and was prepared way before Prime even swung his sword. Like, tell me Scourge is not cold, bro. So Optimus tries swinging, but Scourge lands a clean right jab, and then we see Bumblebee in the very back blasting away at this Terracon. And look at how clean the sequence was. He hit that jump like he was LeBron James with a 40-inch vertical. They even played it in slow motion. Even I was like, damn! Meanwhile, Mirage is out here looking like that one friend missing every shot that he takes, out here putting up Tony Snell numbers. Like, I wouldn't even call this man an Autobot. He's not helping anyone with that whack aim of his. And you already know Mirage was trying his hardest to extend that 10-day contract that Optimus Prime gave him. And it's not looking too good for him, I'm not gonna lie. And then the cameraman switches angles and we see Optimus do a whole 360 while pulling out his blade trying to catch Scourge off guard. But this man is not phased at all because bro literally grabs his arm with no effort required. He had my boy Optimus kneeling on the ground like, help me! Help me! Like, Scourge is actually one of the greatest villains of all time because bro was even rubbing it in Optimus Prime's face, asserting his dominance, just straight up trash talking this man talking about
when an inferior being meets a higher power.
My guy Scourge was making Optimus Prime look like an average Autobot because he literally kicks Prime to the ground like it's nothing and then poses for the hardest IG flick I've ever seen. They call me Scourge for a reason because I'm the only one they see as unbeaten.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that caption needs a little bit of work because that was definitely not it. Meanwhile, we see Noah and Elena skedaddle their way out of the museum, and Noah actually comes in clutch because he shuts the door right in time before they get turned into minced meat. Like, dog, I really thought I was watching Call of Duty Zombies by the way they were being attacked. And Noah actually pisses me off so much because bro decides that the best option is to run right into the fight with a transwarp key right in his hands. Like, at this point, I don't know whose side he's on because he's acting like he's invincible and the Terracons can't see him right in front of them. Like, I'm just gonna put this out there. If that was Sam Witwicky with the transwarp key in his hands, he would have already dipped the scene by now. I mean, y'all do remember how fast he was running with that cube in his hands in the original Transformers. That man is a certified track star like Usain Bolt. So Mirage gets grabbed up and gets taken right into the sky, just to get hit with that nastiest RKO straight into the ground. Like, tell me one achievement Mirage has actually obtained, because this man is always getting cooked every time he appears on my screen. So right as Noah and Elena are about to escape with a transwarp key right in their hands, the Terracons really said nope, because one of them throws a grenade and blasts them away. And I'm not gonna lie, the Terracons versus the Autobots was a pure mismatch. It's like they stood no chance against Scourge no matter what they tried. So Arky sees that the transwarp key was on the ground and tries going for it, only for her to get body slammed by a car and get sent out of the entire frame. Like, she was actually nowhere to be seen. I don't know how she didn't see that one coming, but I guess it's up to Optimus and Bumblebee since two of the Autobots are already downed. Scourge takes down Optimus with a random object, and I don't know what was going on with Optimus, because how did he just get taken down that easily? So now Optimus and Bumblebee get to jumping Scourge because they realize it's the only way they have a chance against Scourge, because I guess he's just too strong for them. I don't know what else to say. Bumblebee comes in and throws a wooden plank, only for it to get blasted. But then Optimus tries sneaking in from behind just to get headbutted and then smacks Bumblebee into the building. Like, bro, this is a complete violation. He's literally taking down two of the strongest Autobots by himself. Optimus tries striking at Scourge, only to get his blade swung away. And yeah, this is where I knew it was Raps, because we all know when Optimus has no weapons, his attributes points go down by 50, because he cannot do anything without them. So then Scourge grabs onto Optimus Prime's hand and then just completely cooks him, because he kicks him against the wall and gives him brain damage with a punch straight to the cranium. And I already know Optimus Prime's brain was doing straight jumping jacks, because to end this man off, he slams a pillar against his head, and this is where I knew it was officially good game for the Autobots. So Bumblebee thinks he's the main character and tries coming in from behind as a desperate attempt to save Optimus, but bro just gets stabbed right through the chest, and it was really over for them, because he said he's tired of little things getting in his way, because he electrocutes the crap out of Bumblebee. Then Scourge proceeds to take off Bumblebee's 4PF chain and then tosses him to the ground like a pile of trash. Like, bro, Scourge is actually the definition of him. He straight up sunned Optimus and B in the same day, but I guess you could say Scourge is just like that. And before the video ends, make sure to hit the subscribe button. I'm out.